Alright guys, so some new cards got announced. Let's go ahead and check them out and talk a little bit about their effects. So first off, we have some more support for the Magibullet archetype. But anyways, it's a new level 4 monster with 1500 attack and 1300 attack. And it says you can only use this card's second effect once per turn. So the first effect is you can activate Magibullet, spell and trap cards from your hand during either player's turn, which is pretty much relevant with most of them, so nothing special there. But the second effect says if a spell trap card is activated in the same column as this card, you get to target one Magibullet monster in your graveyard and special summon in defense position. Hey, that's not a bad effect at all, especially since there's no restrictions on it. It just has to be a Magibullet monster, no like level or attack. But it does go in defense position, but still pretty good card indeed. That is the Magibullet Shooter Calamity card. But next up we have some more support for the archetype. Looks like all of this archetype is getting revealed right now, and let's go ahead and check it out. So anyways, we got 4 more cards for this archetype. We got 2 monsters and 1 spell that's a quick play and 1 continuous trap card. So anyways, the first card that we're going to be checking out is the Shooter Doctor. That should be the one here in the top right. But anyways, it is a level 3, and it's got 1400 attack and 1200 defense points. And it reads, you can only use this card's second effect once per turn. So the first effect is the standard Magibullet one, where you can activate spell and trap cards from your hand during either player's turn. I'm not going to mention this anymore because I think that's relevant in all of them, but for the sake of this video, that's the last time I mention it. But anyways, the second effect is if a spell trap card is activated in the same column as this card, you can add one Magibullet card with a different name from that card from your graveyard to your hand. So wow, that's insane. Oh wow, that is crazy good. So you can activate one of them and then add back a different one. Oh wow, that's gonna be pretty dang good. I think that card has a lot of potential here. And then next up we have the Shooter Star, which is the one over in the top left. But anyways, her effect is that, well, she's got a level of 4 and she's 1300 attack. But anyways, you can only use this card's second effect once per turn. So the second effect of it once per turn is that if a spell trap is activated in the same column as this card, you could just special one level 4 lower Magibullet monster from your deck. Wow, it has to be in defense position. Dang, that really sucks. Now, there are a few cards, it says except for itself, but there are a few cards that actually change the battle position of your monsters, because a lot of the cards that were really good announced before were basically like an honest. It's either like doubles attack or something like that, but it boosts up your Magibullet monster's attack. So in defense position, that's not going to be too good. You might have to use some other cards with it. But let's check out the other support, because maybe the other support helps out with this. So next up, we have the Cross Dominator, which is the quick play spell card here in the bottom left. And its effect reads that you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. The first effect is if you control a Magibullet monster, target one face-up monster on the field, that monster's attack and defense becomes 0, and its effects are negated, and the effects last until the end of this turn. Wow, that's pretty good. So it protects your monster, and again, some of the stuff you just get for free anyways. That's really good. Although I really wish that the archetype didn't have to special summon in defense position, but that's kind of the way it works right now. Otherwise, maybe it'd be too strong. But anyways, the last card that we have for the Magibullet archetype, because we got some other cards for the Weathery archetype, which we'll go over, but this is the one in the bottom right-hand corner. This is a continuous trap card, and that is the Magibullet Devil's Zeal, but I'm sure they'll change the name in the TCG because it's too edgy. But anyways, so it's a continuous trap card that says you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. So the first effect is that they cannot, Magibullet monsters cannot be destroyed by card effects. Wow, that's pretty good. And then if this card is sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you can add one Magibullet card from your deck or graveyard to your hand, except for itself. Wow, that is pretty good. Now, obviously, a lot of people have been playing the Galaxy Cyclone just to go ahead and banish it, but still not a bad card at all, just to add any. I don't know if people will be playing it. I mean, it does have the effect where it makes it so they can't be destroyed by card effects, which can definitely help out against certain decks. But overall, I don't know how good this archetype is becoming like on its own. I really wish that it didn't special summon in defense mode, but still, that Cross Dominator is definitely a great card. But anyways, we got some other support for the Weathery archetype. Looks like we got a new monster, a new continuous spell, and a continuous trap card. So let's go ahead and check that out. So the first card over here is the level 3 Earth Fairy effect monster with 0 attack, 2200 defense points. And it says that you can only use this card's first effect once per turn. So the first effect says when this card is normal summon, you can place one Weathery spell and trap card directly from your deck face up to your spell and trap zone. Okay, so that's pretty good. already +1 right there. Although the stats are kind of low, and it has to be normal stone. But second effect says once per turn during the standby phase, if this card is currently banished and was banished since the previous turn because it was banished to activate a Weathery card's effect, you can special summon this card. So the card can reoccur itself. So I guess this is just basically the searcher of the deck, and it's got decent defense position. It has 2200 defense, but it's not too good on the offensive zone, obviously with 0. But next up we have the Cloudy Weathery pattern. So it's a continuous spell card. Well, I guess we can go check out the picture over here. I mean, there's one of each, so it should be pretty self-explanatory which one's which. But this is a guy what looks like he has like a giant pen, and then the other one, someone's floating up with that. Is it a spray paint can? But anyways, we're here for the effects. So anyways, the Cloudy Weathery pattern, the continuous spell card says you can only control one of them. And then the second effect says, a Weathery effect monster in the main monster zone in the same column as this card, as well as the main monster zones adjacent to the zone, gains this effect. Quick effect except during the damage step, you can banish this card and target one feasted monster, half its attack, also can attack directly. These effects last until the end of this turn. Wow, the text on this, man, the column and then adjacent, oh gosh, this game is getting way too complex, especially when you're playing on some of these applications like Yugioh Pro. It's just going to cause a mess for some of the people that place their cards now, but let's go check out the new card and we'll talk a little bit about that afterwards. But anyways, next up we have the trap card, which is the Aurora Weathery pattern, and it's a continuous trap card. It says you can only control one of the Aurora Weathery pattern. It says a Weathery effect monster or monsters in the main monster zone in the same column as the card, as well as the main monster zone adjacent to that zone, gains this effect. When exactly one card is added to either player's hand, you can banish this card, banish that added card, and if you do, that player draws one card. Okay, interesting. But I feel like these whole adjacent column things, I'm not sure if I'm a fan of it, but I mean, you guys can let me know what your thoughts are at any of the cards. Do you guys think Weatheries are going to be good? I think the Magibullet is definitely pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with this, because it's got that column mechanic, but in addition to that, the Weathery's got the column and the adjacent. I'm just like, oh, that's too far for me. But the Magibullet does have some pretty cool artwork on some of the cards. So we'll have to wait and see what this deck can do, because I feel like at the end of the day, it's the same mechanic. Like, I like how Infernities were like you play with no hand. 6 Samurais, they gotta like have multiple monsters against their effect. But this one, even though it is technically new to be able to activate spell and trap cards during either player's turn, the problem I have with this is at the end of the day, it's just a hand trap. You know, it's the same mechanic, but technically they are spells and they are traps, so it'd be different than negating, let's say, a monster effect. But nonetheless, you guys let me know your thoughts. And I really want to know, do you guys like this whole column and adjacent mechanic? Because I feel like it gets more and more complex. And the more and more complex we get when newer players come into the game, it's just going to be very difficult for them to understand. But I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Do you guys think this is too far, or do we need something new? Again, I just feel like the columns plus adjacent, it's gonna make people go, I want to go back to Hearthstone where it's simple. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts down below on any of these cards that we talked about. But thanks for watching, guys. And if you enjoyed seeing some new cards, drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more new Yu-Gi-Oh cards early. But thanks for watching, and I'm signing out.